Hey there. Hi. It's been a minute since I was on these streets, and you can blame that on the weak Kenyan shilling. In fact, the Kenyan shilling has taken such a beating from the Benjamin that we are all suffering at the pump. Fuel prices have gone to a record high, and they don't look like going down anytime soon. So whether those prices are justified or not, that's a discussion for another forum and another day. Today I want to chat about some do's and don'ts that will help you save some pennies at the pump. I want to share with you tips that will save you quite a lot, because fuel costs account for over 50% of your running costs, assuming your car is in good working condition. So the first and the most important thing you need to do is service your car regularly. When you service your car regularly, it will give you the best economy, fuel economy, and it will get close to the manufacturer's claims. Most of the manufacturer economies are not quite accurate because they are done in test environments. Basically, the car running on a dyno, then they measure the MPG using the exhaust fumes, and that always doesn't translate in the real world. But you need to be as close to it as possible if you can. So the main culprits are usually the air filter and the throttle. So when the air filter is dirty and the throttle is clogged, you will get a bad fuel economy. So make sure these two are clean. So when you service your car, make it a habit of asking your mechanic to check the throttle and clean it if it's not. Second thing is always drive your car with the right tire pressures, the cold inflation tire pressures. So we have the minimum tire pressure which you should drive around with. That's when you are probably alone or two in the car. And then we have the full payload when you are carrying a capacity. Maybe if it's a family car, 5 passengers and 5 pieces of luggage in the boot. So the full payload tire pressure is usually 5 to 6 psi more than the minimum tire pressure. So observe that. And when you are carrying at capacity, make sure the rear tires are inflated 4 to 5 psi more than the front tires, because most when you're at full load, the weight is rear biased. The other thing is you need to drive sensibly. Avoid harsh braking and aggressive acceleration, because these contribute negatively to your fuel economy. I know sometimes it's quite common when you get excited on the road and you wish not to be overtaken. So Subaru boys, please, you know what to do. This economy, you don't need to race anyone. It's not a race. Everyone is driving to work. Maybe not everyone is trying to race you. So drive easy. The other thing is avoid idling. Do you know that 3 minutes of idling will cost you 1 kilometer of driving? So when you get to a junction, when you get to traffic lights, when you get to maybe a traffic snarl up, just make it a habit of switching off the engine if you don't have the start-stop system. For those who do, like you, always make sure the start-stop system is switched on, because you can also choose to switch it off, because some people don't like the start-stop system. But for fuel economy, always have the start-stop system on. Then use the overrun fuel cutoff to the fullest. What do I mean by the overrun fuel cutoff? The overrun fuel cutoff in layman's language is basically costing. So when you are descending, you can coast. I'm not saying don't coast at idle, just coast in gears. Don't shift. Just if you are driving on automatic, that is, let the car coast, ease off the gas, then the car will coast. When the car is coasting, there is no injection of fuel in the combustion chamber, so you'll save fuel there, because basically the engine speed is determined by the tire speed, not the other way around. So as the car rolls, it is now the force of gravity that is actually driving the engine speed, and not the other way around, not the engine speed driving the tires. So you'll save fuel by using the fuel overrun fuel cutoff to the fullest. So you have to adopt a forward way of driving. Always look 50, 100 meters ahead. If you notice the cars 100 meters are braking, you can ease off the gas so that you don't have to brake when you get to that point. So you can ease off the gas, then by the time you get to that point, you realize maybe you don't need to brake at all and you continue driving. Then you can get your foot back on the gas. The other one is use the recommended engine oil, and especially you always use high lubricity oil. So the recommended oil, because different oils have different viscosity, don't use oil in your car that has a higher viscosity than recommended, because it will just lead to more it's called energy loss in the engine, because the engine will be struggling with the higher viscosity engine than it's recommended, and then there will be much more energy loss in the engine. Remember, of all the energy, the power that the engine churns out, only less than 50% goes to turning the wheels. Most of it is lost in the engine internals. So if you have the wrong oil, you'll be losing more energy in the engine internals, and that will contribute to bad fuel economy for your car. So bear that in mind. Always the right recommended oil for your car. No shortcuts with oil also. Issue, avoid high-speed driving. Usually the car is most economical between 100 and 120. When you maintain that, you'll get the best fuel economy between 100 and 120 when you're doing highway. When you start going over 140, you are increasing the engine speed, meaning the RPM. And the ideal RPM to drive at for fuel economy is 2000. It's actually advisable, always try and drive at highest gear at 2000 RPM. That's why you'll get the best economy. That's why you get always highway driving will give you better economy than city driving. Because with city driving, you don't get to the high gears, and you also the engine speed is quite low, so you don't get the economy that you'll be looking for. The other thing is, avoid anything that will alter the aerodynamic coefficient of your car. Do not have luggage on the roof of the car. Do not drive at high speed with the windows open, because that will only alter your aerodynamic coefficient for the worst. So when you follow these tips, especially in this time, you'll find that you'll be getting better fuel economy for your car. So maybe look after your pockets by adopting this style of driving and looking at your car very well. Thank you.